Let's get dangerous. Espionage. Oh, that's so lame. Hello and welcome to Escape from Mount Backlog, one man's quest to defeat his game's library. Today we'll be looking at Alpha Protocol, the espionage RPG. Alpha Protocol was developed by Obsidian Entertainment and released in 2010. Development started once they had wrapped up on Neverwinter Nights 2. The lead designer for the project was the indomitable Chris Avallone, who at that point had worked on such games as Fallout 2, Icewind Dale, and Planescape Torment. Oh, and of course the best modern Fallout game, New Vegas. Needless to say, the man is damn near a mythical figure in the RPG field. Recently, he lended his talents to projects like Pillars of Eternity, Torment, Tides of Numenera, Arcane's Prey, and the System Shock remake, which is coming out at some point. But that's enough gushing about Mr. Avallone. I love you, Chris. Alpha Protocol, true to Obsidian form, is incredibly ambitious and just a little bit broken. Yes, I did encounter a few minor bugs, notably involving the cover system and the AI, but nothing near game-breaking. If I had to sum the game up in a sentence, I'd say that Alpha Protocol is the bastard lovechild of Mass Effect and Metal Gear Solid, liberally taking combat elements from the former and the convoluted plots from the latter. It's a game that should have done way better sales-wise at launch, but never managed to garner more than a cult following. Notably, that cult following consists largely of games critics and RPG lovers, and internet pundits. The gameplay is basically very much like Mass Effect for the most part. It's a third-person cover-based shooter. Well, if you want to play the boring way, if you want to be smart, invest in stealth. There are tons of character customization options, meaning you can, like most other Obsidian RPGs, truly play your own way. Or, like I said, dump all your points into stealth and just win the game. I mean, at higher levels, you can literally go invisible and straight up just shank dudes. That's what I did. Stealthed up with the silenced pistol and a standard assault rifle if things got too hairy. The story itself, on the surface, is standard spy fiction fare. Your character has been betrayed and left for dead by the agency, who are naturally in the pocket of an evil paramilitary corporation. Or is it private military corporation? I should probably Google that. And now, as a rogue agent, you hop across the world, uncovering their plot, which obviously is to start World War III for that sweet, sweet profit. Along the way, you'll meet several colorful characters. Actually, the best NPC characters are women. No joke, and they're not just eye candy, they have real character. Women like Scarlet Lake, who is a photojournalist by day and is implied to be an assassin by night. She's also the most flirtatious of the people you meet. She's a real femme fatale type. Xi, who is a German mercenary and ex-Stasi, that's the German Ministry of State Security agent, who actually gets to be a woman who's not in her early 20s. She's a little bit older, a little bit grizzled, and a bit of a gun nut, complete with shotgun shell belts, a huge LMG, and some cigarettes. And Sis, who is possibly the most Metal Gear Solid type character. She's a very young, possibly late teens, mute gunslinger bodyguard. Big Texas belt buckle, 6 shooters, the whole shebang. Beyond those 3 I just mentioned, there are so many more characters to get attached to. And a significant part of the game is forging friendships for you to leverage towards the end of the game. It really does make you feel like a super spy. And holy shit, the antagonists get just as much love, with characters like the Chinese secret police officer, Omen Deng. He's like the evil ghost of Taiwan, feared by most, rarely seen by anyone. And those who do, let's just say they have shortened lifespans. And my favorite, for reasons that will become clear, Konstantin Brayko, who's a Russian gangster who loves the 80s so much that naturally his mansion has a built-in arcade. Minor spoiler alert, when you fight him, it's in his personal disco with flashing lights, mirror balls, the whole deal, while Turn Up the Radio blares over the speakers. Then he gets hopped up in coke and attacks you with a knife. Yes, that's an actual thing that happens in this game. A coked up Russian gangster attacks you with a knife while disco music plays. It's fantastic. But, as with most things, I have to mention the flaws. This is an Obsidian game after all. Firstly, as I mentioned, yes, there are bugs. Nothing game-breaking, but sometimes noticeable, especially with the AI. Also, I would highly recommend playing with the controller. The keyboard and mouse controls are kind of garbage. But those minor bugs aren't my biggest bugbears. My biggest ones are actually reserved for the length of the game. You go from a few missions in Saudi Arabia to being able to pick your targets across Moscow, Rome and Taipei. And once those 3 hubs have been completed, you're kind of rushed into the final mission. And you really feel that rush. Some plot threads are left opened or abandoned in such a way that it really feels like they ran out of either time or money. It really feels like there should be at least one more act with 3 locations before you do the final mission. I ended up finishing the game in just under 12 hours. Which in itself is not a bad thing. Focused RPGs are more than welcome to last that long. Not all RPGs need to be 50+ hour epics, but in this case, it does feel a bit short. Now of course this could have been remedied in a sequel, which is heavily baited at the end, without spoilers. But alas, we'll never know. Sega, the publishers, pulled the plug on a sequel after the less than positive reception of the game. As it stands, it's a curiosity, and a prime example of the greater community not latching onto new IPs as they should. This just stands testament as another reason that the AAA industry is focused on sequels of existing IP and remasters. But what do I think? Honestly, I think everyone should at least give Alpha Protocol a shot. As flawed as it is, it has too many great ideas that just can't be ignored. It's got strong characters, good writing, compelling missions, and above all else, it is a fun video game. And that'll just about wrap up this episode of Escape from Mount Backlog. Have you played Alpha Protocol? Is it stuck in your backlog? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, don't forget to like this video and share it around. We're getting close to 100 subscribers on this channel, and once that happens, I'll finally have some validation for my efforts. Also, my wife may let me buy more video games again. So tune in next time, guys, when we look at something... shit, I don't know. Something high contrast.